My name's Glenn, and I'm one of the software stewardship specialists here at eSPACE. And in this video today, I will be doing a high-level overview of our work order and asset management system, being sure to show you some of the key components that can help you better facilitate your facilities and manage it in a more streamlined fashion. The first component that I'm going to be sharing with you today is a feature that we launched back in March. This is called Floor Plan. This is where you can actually have an entire layout of your campus here, as you can see on my screen. There's a lot of layers to this feature, and it's been a really exciting tool for us to launch. As you can see here, I have different things mapped out within my facility. I have my air conditioning units here. I have emergency exits and fire extinguishers. I have where my video cameras are, my Wi-Fi bands. I even have an escape route for emergency escape from the office areas. So there's many layers and many things that you can customize here. What I also like about this feature that I think is very powerful is that I can come here and click on this HVAC unit. Once I click on this HVAC unit, it's actually going to pull up the information for this HVAC unit, and it's going to show its work history. I can also from there create a work order for this HVAC if it needs work to be done. Very neat that you can actually click on that. You can also click on the actual space, and once you click on that, it's going to pull up that space at which you can then look at your work orders that have been that are the work orders that are for this space. When you come down here, you're able to see the properties like square footage, dimensions, what type of walls, what type of carpet, what type of ceiling, and just a better way to track what's going on within that particular space. You can also create a work order for that space as well. The next thing we're going to talk about here are what we call work orders, which are find it, fix it things. These are things that are reported to facilities that need attention and need to be fixed. Things like a broken HVAC or a leaky pipe or possible roof leak. These are just examples, but obviously these are things that need to be brought to attention to facilities. So once they come in, you can actually view them, and then from here, you can actually click this assign button. You can assign it to somebody on your team. You can assign it to a department, facilities, IT, custodial. You don't really care who takes care of it. You just want that department notified so that it's brought to their attention. And you can also notify external vendors if you have their information in our system. When they are notified, they receive an email notification, and in there's going to be a link. When they click on it, it will pull up the work order for them to view and schedule a time to come out. These work orders can also be managed in many different ways. This is kind of your work order tool belt here. So when I drop this down, I can change the priority level. I can write general comments. I can select equipment that I may need. I can grab additional spaces this may be affecting. I can add equipment and inventory that I have in the system, or I can add labor and time, and I can also start to build an estimated cost if I was doing the work in-house. You can also have tasks. Maybe this is a project that requires a few different things that need to be done, and so you need to kind of list those out and then press complete on them as you finish them. That way you know that you're getting the work done. Conversation tab, that's where you can have a conversation with your team within the work order. That way y'all can discuss things back and forth, or you could even write a message to the person that submitted the work ticket, letting them know that, hey, I'm on top of it. I'm just waiting on a part, or just giving them a general update of where the status is on the work that's being done. You can also attach pictures, files, invoices, documents, receipts, anything that you want to be filed within this work order, kind of like a filing cabinet. That way it is noted and it's in there for viewing, for you to be able to view later. There's also a history tab. And in this particular work order, there's an event setup tab. And in another video, I will be showing you what that event setup tab is for, because we do have an event scheduling module that I'll be discussing in another video, where you can actually send a setup for a event to the facilities team. That way it is scheduled and on their calendar, and they can get it set up for you. Next, we're going to talk about our preventative maintenance. These are things that we want to put on a frequency. Reminders, fire extinguisher checks, emergency lighting checks, HVAC filter replacement, things that need to be on a frequency so that you're getting the reminders that you need. You're able to set these up. You can come down here and fill out the information, grab the space that's involved. You can grab the equipment that's involved. You can have a task list of what needs to be done. You can assign it to the person that needs to take care of this particular preventative maintenance item. You can attach pictures. Here you can set up the frequency. Is it daily, every weekday, bi-weekly, quarterly, annually, or you can just grab custom, and if you have dates in mind that work for you, you can select them that way. You can even have this generated a few days prior to its completion date. That way you can get yourself ready and prepared to take care of the work that needs to be done. And you can also get a reminder however many days in advance you would like to. That way it's not just sneaking up on you. Next, we're going to talk about equipment here. And this is where you can list your assets, things like HVAC units, elevators, water heaters, boilers, industrial kitchen equipment. These are all things that are going to have a life cycle, and you also have to do routine maintenance on, and you would like to keep a track of that. What you can have with this is you can have a barcode here. You can actually barcode the equipment, walk up with the app that we have available on the phone, and scan that barcode, and it will pull up that piece of equipment in our app. That way you can create work orders, add notes, or view any of the work history for this particular unit. You can have a service category, description, location, model number, serial number. You can have when it went into service, the warranty information, what you paid for the unit originally. You can have a picture of the unit. You can even upload the manuals here. And then down here is really the key piece to this. It's an automation in the software where every time you close out a preventative maintenance item or you close out a work order, it's going to track to that piece of equipment. That way you can easily go back in, open that equipment, and look at your work history. We also have what's called Vehicle Pro here. And this is where you can keep track of work that's being done on your vehicles. The difference between vehicle PM and regular PMs is regular PMs are tracked by time, like daily, weekly, monthly. But vehicle PM is set up to track by mileage. That way you're getting the oil change when needed, tires rotated, and all that is based off of the mileage of that vehicle. When I drop down to this bus here, I can actually look at all the work that's been done on it. Another thing is if you need to keep track of fuel ups, we actually have that as an option as well. You could actually take a barcode for this particular vehicle. Once it's added into the system, you can put that barcode somewhere on the windshield or dash, and then when they go to fill up for gas, they can just scan the barcode. It's going to pull up this bus, and they just hit fuel up and then fill out the information. We also have inventory. This is where you can track replenishables, things like HVAC filters, light bulbs, cleaning supplies, office supplies, things like that. And what you can have is you can have a quantity on hand, what it costs per unit, and then have a total on hand value as well. When this is being used properly, meaning that we're taking away from the inventory and adding it into the work orders or PMs as we're using it, it will actually subtract from your inventory list. And there's a way that you can set a threshold so that you can get a reminder when it gets to a certain low point that it's time to reorder. The calendar here is very easy and functional. Let's say that we're not going to be able to get to this today and we're going to have to move it to Friday. You can just click and drag it just like that. You can also have a monthly, weekly, daily view of this, and you can filter the calendar as needed so that you can find anything specific you may be looking for. There's also analytics. Not to crack too much of a joke, but I'm a numbers guy as long as I don't have to do it myself. And we have a way to track some of that for you. This will actually tell you how many work orders were created, how many were completed, average time to get them done. This will break down your service categories by tickets. If you're multi-campus, this will break down your work orders per campus. This will tell you your busiest days of the week. And this will also tell you who's doing the work. Now to talk about how people can submit work tickets. Here at eSPACE, we don't charge per user. So you can just hand out credentials and people can log into the app on their phone and submit a work ticket that way or at a desktop. The other way that you can do this is you can have a custom form, and that form is going to give you an embed code that you can add to your website, and people can click on the link and then they'll be able to fill out a work order form that looks like this. It'll ask the questions for them to fill out, and then they just press submit, and then that will go into eSPACE and generate a work ticket. Another thing that has been going on for the last couple of years is people are actually taking this link here, copying it, and they put it into a QR code. They'll print those off and put them in various areas around their campuses, and then people can just walk up with their phone, scan the QR code, and it will actually pull up this work order, and then they can fill that out and submit that way. The other way that this can be done is you can create a custom email, like facility maintenance at mybuilding.com. Once that email is created in eSPACE, I can then email a work order. I can just say, hey, this is Glenn. I was walking down the hall and I saw that 2 lights are out. When I press send on that email, it's not going to go to anybody's personal email. It's actually going to go into eSPACE and it's going to generate a work ticket. What you can also do with that email is you can place that in your phone's contacts, and then you can actually text a work order. Put it in your phone like a contact, take a picture, write a couple of sentences, press send on this text message, and it's going to go right into eSPACE and generate a work ticket. So a few different ways to submit work tickets. We also have what's called a life cycle calculator. And what you can do with this tool is you can take this elevator, for instance, its current replacement value is $52,000. And we're saying that we have 20 years of remaining life for this elevator. And we're saying that we're going to have a 2% inflation rate per year. That is what it's projected to cost 20 years from now with that inflation. This is what you should be putting aside as a capital reserve annually for that future replacement. You can divide this up into capital groups. You can look at your summary, you can look at your cash flow, and you can also look at your depreciation as well. We also have what's called operational cost tracker. And what you can do with this is track your energy use, natural gas, water, sewer, electric, and you can plug in what you're paying, and this system will graph it out for you. That way you can compare to prior years, compare to national averages, or you can also catch if you have a spike in something, because if you have a water leak and all of a sudden you realize that your water bill has jumped up a significant amount, then that means that there may be a problem, and that will send you into an investigation mode so that you can find out why that water bill is that high. I hope this video is helpful. If you would like more information, you can book a meeting with me. All you have to do is go to smartchurchsolutions.com and book a demo. There's also an interactive demo available on our website as well.